here interviewing Brad Hightower with some questions. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, I'm not going to do this in order because I got a few ones that I want to say for you. Alright. What do you like to do for fun?
Well, I mean, basically for fun, I like to go hiking. I like to be outdoors in nature. Do things with the people I love, my wife. You guys are fun to hang out with. Grandma, and just good friends and people I love. But being outside in the nature, something like going to a beautiful place like the mountains or somewhere with water and things like that. That's really in eating good food, and then fellowshipping with people like about the Bible that are that you can do it with without getting an argument. Just have a rational debate. I like doing that too, and exercising.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually not bad. Alright. What is your favorite sport?
My favorite sport, well, that I liked to do when I was younger was probably martial arts. That was my favorite, doing jujitsu. And then, like watching on TV, I love watching baseball. We like watching the Texas Rangers.
Yeah. Okay. What is your favorite food and drink?
Well, right now it's Mexican food. We make it home. I make this awesome green sauce that I have to give Brandy the recipe to, and we like um, we like to have a Sprite with fresh lemon and lime squeezed in it and ice.
Yeah. And what about your drink?
Drink the Sprite, but those are not really healthy. Um,
No, I mean, I like that drink too. I mean,
yeah, but
it's good every now and then.
I like to get the poppy drinks, the carbonated, like if I want something, like a treat that's not like so bad for you. And those are like one of my favorites to drink, the orange poppies, and we drink the Sprites. But other than that, it's pretty much water. And I'll have teas and things like that. I like sodas, but they're just not good to drink, for you. So we'll do the Sprite and then the poppies.
Hmm. Alright, here's the next one. What would your dream job be?
Um, my dream job, it's hard to say. I would just like to have like a big farm and be able to take care of a bunch of cool animals and just let them have a place, and then just have good friends that come over and fellowship and all that, and have beautiful gardens, and be able to like sell at the farmers markets and things like that. And if I was going to do something like as far as like people being a coach or something like that, I'd like to do anything where you're like motivating and encouraging the youth, or anybody that's going through a hard time.
Yeah. Here's the next one. If you could go back in time and change one thing, what would it be?
Well, it's a tough one there. It's a there's a lot that I could go back and change. I just wished I would have followed Yahuwah more in those times when I didn't make good decisions, or things like that. I just wished I would have listened to him more, or just had the awareness of that. There's a lot that I could have changed, but I'm happy with where I'm at now. Even though life still has challenges, I'm blessed where I'm at.
That's a good answer.
Thank
I'll
you.
say that. Uh, Me and
Hey,
her were brainstorming.
he's a smart he's a smart kid.
No, me and her were brainstorming.
She's a smart adult.
Uh, what would you want to do to increase your channel?
Um, I just think I need to get better, like at editing, and then just have guests that we can actually have something really intriguing to talk about that will keep the audience's attention, and that is really good information that I'm putting out, and something that people need to hear and want to listen to. And I want Yahuwah to be at the forefront of everything I do. glorify Him through whatever I do.
Okay. What do you think about prices going up on like gas, food, drinks, stuff like that?
Well, that's a thing to where the economy, people are making the same wages they did 30, 40 years ago and paying higher prices. It just puts a hard burden on a lot of people. And I think without Yahuwah, most people wouldn't make it, because sometimes I think we just supernaturally make it ourselves, because at 53 I'm working harder than I ever had to make ends meet. But God provides. Yahuwah provides.
Yeah. And as our final question, what do you think about Trump, Donald Trump?
Well, I tell people that you got to watch politicians. The Democrats are just pretty much out in your face, in my opinion, like black magic. They're just, they support everything that's against Yahuwah. The Trump regime coming in Republican, it's different than what we've seen before, but, you can't put all your trust in the politician. I would say that. I would definitely say that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd put my trust in Yahuwah and follow His ways, and not rely on politicians.
Mm-hmm. Now, I would say that that's a good answer, but at the same time, I only got like 5% of that. I don't know much, like, at all. But
That was I kind of danced around that, didn't I? A little bit.
yeah. Well, as a kid, I'm not really going to know much about that, but good.
All right. Awesome.
Okay, I think that's all.
That's it? All
Yeah.
right. Well,
Yeah,
I appreciate you interviewing me, all right? Good interview.
Okay.
All right.